You guys may have noticed a lot of drawings in my thumbnails recently, and fun fact, I'm actually the one drawing them. I hadn't drawn in like probably years until pretty recently, but I feel like they make pretty good kind of Wojak-esque drawings for thumbnails, and today I'm going to show you guys how I do it. If you start drawing YouTubers like me in your YouTube thumbnails, I will copyright strike you into all hell. I will ruin your life. You cannot copy my swag. Alright, chat. So today, we're going to be drawing a few YouTubers. Now, on the stream that I'm on right now, we just took a look at Leafy is here, and we then took a look at Corpse Husband. Now, what we need to do here is we need to get some pictures of them. Okay, this is how I draw these pictures. There is some tracing involved. So here's how we do it, okay? Now for Leafy, I'm thinking kind of a before and after comparison would be the best way to do it. So we're gonna start with a picture of young Leafy, okay? I think this is a good picture, so we'll save this one. Now we need a picture of fat Leafy, and I think that this is a good one. These two pictures are gonna be good. Now I need a picture of Corpse Husband, because he's probably the most popular person we talked about in that clip. So we'll do the most recognizable picture of him that everybody knows, basically. I think that's the way to do it. I'm going to use this picture. Oh, this one seems good, because this one has a white background. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to save these pictures. I think I've got them all saved now. Now I'm going to open up Photoshop. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have Photoshop. Got a new file open here. So we're going to start with Leafy. Let's see here. So we got this picture of Leafy, and there's another one. Did it save it as a weird file type or something? Why is it not showing up? We need the other picture of Leafy in here. Yeah, I probably saved it as a file type. Hold on. It did. Why does every file get put in a weird format now? AVIF. What even is that? All right, I got my picture of Leafy. All right. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay out what kind of format I'm going to want. Listen to CKY while you draw? I will not. I will listen to music. What we're going to do is I think this picture of Leafy is going to be on the left side of the thumbnail. So I'm going to kind of position him here. Now, if I use the remove background function, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it looks like, but that doesn't matter because we're going to be drawing him anyway. So this Leafy is going to be on this side of the thumbnail, and I'll be able to move the drawing around once it's all done as well. And this picture of Leafy is going to be on the right side. Hold on. We're going to flip it. So he's going to be on that side. So this is the orientation we're going to be using for these pictures. So we'll start with this picture of Leafy. Make a new layer. We're going to take this layer, go to layer style blending options. We're going to turn the fill opacity down quite a bit. This is some drawing on stream, and I don't want to take hours on it. We might keep the drawing kind of simple, but that's okay. So you want to do it just to the point where you can still see the outlines of his face, but not so much that you can't see any of the detail. I'm going to go to this layer and make the brush size like 5 to start. And we're going to do black for the color. As someone who religiously watches Corey, I've got to agree the exposed video was copious. All his videos up until that point got 10 million views. Yeah, we'll get into that more another time, but yes, I do think that video was extremely cope. I might need to be a little bigger brush size. We'll actually go with 6. That's good, yeah. So we're going to start by tracing the outline of his face. And you don't have to get it exact. In fact, it's better if it's not exact because you kind of want to exaggerate his features a little bit to make it a little more cartoony. So, you know, when I'm tracing, the main goal is just to get the proportions and like the kind of profile right, but it doesn't really matter if you actually get all the details right. It's just not going to be that big of a deal. I'm going to kind of fake a little jawline there for him as well, although I don't want it to be too fake. There we go. All right, now we're going to do his nose because that's definitely an important feature here. Yeah, that's good actually. All right, we got his nostril. Make it a little bigger. Once again, exaggerating features is part of the name of the game here. You want it to look just slightly off. We got his hair here. It always helps, frankly, to make their hairline slightly higher than it really is. Make their forehead a little bigger than it actually is. I'm going to do his eyebrow here. Eyebrows I usually do last because I usually draw that in a different way. Now you can see it's pretty much tracing at this point, but we're gonna make his eyes look kind of crazy because that's always the way to do it. To distinguish it as a drawing, you want to make the eyes look a little nuttier than they really are. One eye bigger than the other never hurts for clickability, frankly. Never hurt anyone. I usually draw soy faces, so I might go back and redo his mouth, but we'll see. Got his headphone here. Once again, the exact details don't matter. It's more about taking a recognizable picture and exaggerating some of the features so it's funny. All right, we got a hair here. And get his headphone over here. All right, so now that we've got that, I'm going to wrap up the headphone. Bro's tracing, not drawing. This is how I do all of the thumbnails. What I do is I trace the major features and then I change a few of them slightly. Because at the end of the day, I'm making a thumbnail. I want it to be a recognizable picture of them, but it also has to be different enough that they're kind of soy jacky. That's the way to do it. So the headphones, once again, this is where the features being exact don't matter nearly as much. So you can kind of simplify things. So we're going to make his hat a little bigger than it actually. Maybe we'll make it the same size. It already looks pretty big. All right, now we're going to make his hair actually pop out more than it really does from the hat. So if we kind of zoom out a little bit and see what it looks like without the... Yeah, that's clearly going to be him. We'll have to change things up still, but it is happening. All right, so his hat is right there, and the headphone kind of comes over it. So we'll draw that happening. And this will connect here. And instead of all the detail, we'll just have one little kind of thing here. There we go. All right, it's coming together a little bit now. Time we get attacked by the animation meme community for tracing. They're right, dude. I am a tracer. So now we're going to get his neck. We're going to skip the microphone because that doesn't, you know, really add to the drawing very much. Now that we have that, we're going to entirely redo the rest of him because we kind of have the general idea of Leafy. But the details are not really what matters. So we're going to put his head up here. He still needs to be hunched over. Yeah, like right there is probably good. Yeah. But making their body small is kind of funny. Making them kind of bobbleheady is always a good look. Now, we have the general concept of Leafy. We got to make him a little different though. So first of all, one thing I like to do is make the eyes look tired. Frankly, it always makes the eyes pop a little more. And the eyes are a really important thing to pop, I would say. You know, people for YouTube thumbnails always say, make sure the eyes are really noticeable and recognizable, and that's definitely true. So it doesn't hurt to, you know, with thumbnails, a big thing people do for thumbnail theory is they'll exaggerate the eyes. But I feel like the eyes aren't Asian enough, so I might have to redo them. But that's okay. If we have to do it, we have to do it. But the eyebrows being thick is definitely a recognizable feature. And I like to draw the eyebrows like this, because once again, it looks a little more soy jacky. They're not quite a soy jack, but there's some soy jack aspects. And this other eyebrow is not even in the photo, is it? I'm gonna draw his other eyebrow here, even though it's not really there. We're gonna kind of imply that it is there. I usually like to add some extra details as well. But once again, I think we'll have to go back and redo the eyes, because usually I draw white people, and he is kind of white, but not quite. Exaggerate how weak the chin is. That's definitely an important thing. Yeah, I think we need to. Do we need to redo the eyes? I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think? Redo the eyes or leave them? They might be fine, honestly. I think if we just add eyelids, that might be the move, more than redoing the entire eyes. So he looks a little bit more trolly, a little more snivelly. I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that's good. It still is Leafy, clearly, but he looks a little f***ed up, which is what we want. But we don't want to make this one too f***ed up, because this is supposed to be like the before drawing, right? The before he gets owned drawing. Now, another thing I'm going to do is add a few details to the hair, because that never hurt anyone. And I'm also going to go back and add a thicker outline around all of them, because a thick outline really helps make drawings pop, I find. So we're going to add another line on top, basically. Oh, why is the hardness all the way down? Did not want that. I think I had the hardness down for the entire drawing. Might have to go and redo some of the lines. But that might be okay, because it will ultimately make him pop even more. Oh, not there. So I do the outside of him, I do a thicker line, but the inside lines don't need to be thicker necessarily. He looks like a Team America World Police puppet. That is ideal. I think that is the way that you want to do it. There we go. Oh, the Kino. There we go. Don't forget the sweaty, moist, greasy texture. Yeah, I don't usually do a lot of textures is the thing. I like to keep it simple because once you get into textures, you have to get into coloring, and I usually keep the colors very simple. Like, for example, with the Jake Whittle thumbnail, which maybe I'm hurting myself by doing a drawing for this because it destroys brand recognizability for this channel, but I'll try it out. With this thumbnail, right, I kept it white, and I think that was good. I think keeping the faces uncolored is good because it makes you have to focus on the details more. And when I color stuff, I don't like to do too much like blending with the coloring because I'm lazy. So I'd rather keep it mostly simple. He does look like a Team America World Police puppet, though, you're right. I think that's pretty good. Kind of don't like the thick outline around it, though, to be honest, now that I look at it. I don't know. We're going to go with it for now. I don't want to waste too much time on it. One thing for doing this kind of stuff is you want to be expeditious. Layer, merge down. All right, so now that we've got this, we're gonna do another layer, and this is just gonna be a white layer. There's probably an easier way to do this that I don't know about, that somebody's gonna comment about, that's more experience in Photoshop, but you know, there's probably a fill bucket or something, but I kind of find it cathartic to do it this way, which kind of defeats the purpose of the last thing I said about saving time, but whatever. I like to just go in and color them all in white. And we will do a few colors, but we're not going to make it anything crazy. The problem once you start coloring a few things is you're expected to color everything or it looks awkward. And like I said, I prefer to keep it mostly soy jacky, remove chin. Well, he does look like he's mewing. He's puffing out his chin, which I think looks good. I think it's funny. All right, so now that we've got that, let's see here. I think all of them is pretty much colored in. We have to go around and fix up the schmegma, we like to call it here on my channel. Take the eraser tool and just go around and clean up the lines a little bit. There's definitely an easier way for this. I feel like his lips are too thick. I mean, they are, but once again, I think that's part of why it's funny. And if it still is Leafy at first glance, that's all that really matters. The accuracy does not actually matter for the purposes of what I want to do anyway. If anything, like I said, it being slightly off is actually good. Because it's something you recognize, but it's slightly weird, slightly cartoonified. Art lessons for free? Yeah, this is my free art lesson, dude. Hopefully no one steals my swag. but we'll see. No one could ever do it like me. By the way, if you start drawing YouTubers like me in your YouTube thumbnails, I will copyright strike you into all hell. I will ruin your life. You cannot copy my swag. You're cleaning up our boy of all of his white cum. All right. So now that we've got that, we're going to do another layer. And with this layer, we're also going to with the blending options. We're going to turn it down because this is the layer we're going to use for shadows. Now shadows, the thing about shadows is a lot of people want you to get shadows right and do it well from an artistic perspective. That doesn't really matter. The point of the shadows I'm adding is just going to be to make the drawing pop a little bit more. Just start adding some shadows around his eyes because it makes him look tired and f***ed up, which is always a good way to do it. Making someone look tired and f***ed up is good for a YouTube thumbnail. Probably going to add a little shadow on his nose, I'm thinking. Give it a zoom out a little bit so I can see the full picture. A little bit of shadow on his nose. Maybe not on his nose. We'll add a little chin shadow, though. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of chin shadow never hurt anyone. Usually I like to do a little shadow around the hair because the hair is separating from the face. And whether or not the shadowing is accurate, it's more just done to, like, be shedded art, but also because it will help differentiate the face from the hair on the YouTube thumbnail, make it pop a little bit more. We'll also color in his eyelids. I never hurt anyone. Coloring in eyelids is good. Just coloring in little features because we're kind of also by extension doing coloring on this by doing the shadows. Now, will shadow on his nose look good? I don't really know. We'll find out, though. I feel like he looks like he has on his nose. Maybe that's a good thing. I think it might add from it. I might add to it. It might be a good thing. I'm thinking the chin shadow was probably a mistake, though, so I'm probably going to undo that. So we're going to turn off the hardness, turn the size up, just get rid of that. Yeah, I think that's better, actually. Getting rid of the shadow was necessary. Now that we've got that, definitely the hat brim needs to be completely in shadow because it's a recognizable part of him, and differentiating that from his face, his hair, and the back of the hat will be good. And on top of that, I mean, if you want to talk about, you know, actual art, if we assume that there is a light above him somewhere, it would make sense for the brim to be in shadow, although usually the light would probably be in front of him because he's, you know, filming in his bedroom, lighting up his face. So we're going to do this. Looks like Drake beard. You mean Drake Bell? I think I could see that. We've got that. We're going to do a little shadowing here. Once again, not really about whether or not the shadow should be there or not. It's more just about making it a recognizable drawing of him with some, you know, shitty art techniques used in the middle. So we're going to do a little bit of it here. I'm thinking a heavier shadow on this part could be good, but I'm not sure yet, really. Just around here, around his face. I think that's good. Yeah, that's probably good enough. All right, so thinking of what other things I could add to him, I think that's probably as good as I need this one to be. Now, I might do a little bit of coloring. Now, if we look at the original photo of Leafy, let's see here. It's pretty black and white, actually. So maybe the only thing I would color in would be his hair. But I don't even know if I need to do that. It might be better to not, but I haven't really decided yet. Whatever the case, while we decide on the coloring for that, we'll start tracing this version of Leafy. Now, this one, we're also going to take the blending options. We're going to go to layers. Actually, hold on. Layer style, blending options. We're going to turn down the fill opacity a decent amount, but not too much. Not too much at all, because this photo is lower res, so we won't be able to see the details. So we're going to change the size of this to... We're going to change the size of the brush back to what? Is 6 what we use? I think we use 6. Yeah, 6 is good. Now this one we can really exaggerate because this is the fat Leafy. So this one we're going to have his mouth actually open, Rick and Morty style. But I feel like it needs to be further back. Maybe do a Simpsons style mouth. Haven't really decided. But yeah, well, his mouth open like that. There we go. We're going to add some teeth. Some effed up teeth. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now we've got that. Do the nose. I'm going to try to carry over that one recognizable nose feature from the last one. This one might already not be looking enough like him, but I can't tell how much that matters yet. I think some features, when exaggerated too much, will make it look unlike them, so you don't want to go too far in one direction sometimes. One thing we can do, though, is really exaggerate these, I don't know what you would call them, smile lines or something? I don't know. Now, you can actually make him look fatter than he actually is one benefit to this kind of thing. You can make him look much fatter, so keep tracing his face. So bring that line in and bring this line out. It's a little too sharp of an angle, so this is going to be in here. This we can bring way out. Yeah. So I think that's going to be good. Let's see here. Yes, that is good. We're making progress in the right direction, I think. I'm going to do his eyes. He's going to be shocked looking at his former self. Like, what happened to me? What have I done? What have I done to my body and my mind? Let's see here. I think the eyes are too dissimilar. So we'll make this one kind of closer to the other one. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So now we got to draw his hair. Now, hair you can get kind of fucky with as well. An important thing for Leafy is to show that the hair is definitely kind of effed up at this point. So we're going to have like multiple kind of pieces of hair that come down. We're going to have one here. It's going to go back up though. And this one's going to come down like here. Someday someone will draw me like this and it will be justified and true and based. Really trying his best with his hair here, isn't it? Let's see. That looks so f***ed up. What the f***? That might be too far. I can't tell yet though. I haven't decided. I haven't totally decided if we're getting too f***ed up. He looks like a goblin in this drawing I'm making. Holy shit. What am I doing to my YouTube idol? You know what? This might actually be the way to go. We might be making good progress. This might be it. Make him bald. Well, it doesn't make sense to make him bald because people recognize him for having hair, even if it's not as much as he used to have. They're still known for having hair. So making him completely bald wouldn't work. They wouldn't recognize it as him. Make him look extra big here. There we go. All right. So I think that's pretty good. We gotta do the eyes again though. Make them look extra f***ed up, which will make more sense in this drawing as well. Because fat people usually have tired eyes because they're tired of carrying their own body weight all day. So I think it will make more sense here for sure. There we go. Oh, why did I turn the hardness down again on the brush? Whatever. Doesn't even matter, dude. I really should not have done that. I need to remember to not do that. Next drawing, we're not going to have the hardness turned down. Next thing to do is going to be... I have to turn the hardness down again, probably for consistency's sake. But eyebrows. The line of the eyebrow will be like there. Yeah, that'll be good. And then we'll fill that in. Fat moids need love too. Dude, this is the femcel thing they call men moids. What a horrible thing that is. There's one thing I actually forgot with the last drawing as far as shading. So with shading, I usually like to add a little bit of stuff just around any eyebrow type thing. I like to add a little bit. So turn the hardness down. Wait, wrong layer. This layer? Yeah, this is the one. Okay. I usually like to add a little bit of shadow. It kind of implies some kind of gradient between the eyebrow and the skin, which doesn't really make sense, but I find that it makes it look a little bit better. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so we've got the young Leafy here. Now for old Leafy, he also has a lot of facial hair, which is important to capture. But we got some other details to do first that are gonna be important. So we're gonna give him a big line here, and maybe some lines here, which don't really make sense. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, that's pretty good. Now, also some other lines here to imply that he's a big guy. Okay, so now I think we can probably go back in and color him, and we're gonna turn the hardness up because I that out from the beginning and I shouldn't have turned it down, but whatever. All right, here we go. Make sure to have a Zin popped in, by the way. He looks like Bling Bling Boy if he was an insecure loser. Jesus. All right, well, to be clear, we're not trying to shit on Leafy too much here, apart from profiting off of his weight gain by making a YouTube thumbnail. But I do like Leafy. Okay, he has his moments for sure. He's one of the goats of YouTube commentary, and for that you must pay your respect. You must. I also still want to go back in and draw the outside line, make it nice and thick, but we'll do that in a second. Okay, seems pretty good. Just make sure we get everything in here. All right, so we're gonna go back to this layer. We're gonna retrace him with that outside line I talked about, that whole meme. Remember that? Commentary forefather? Yeah, something like that. Is that not Bling Bling Boy? I mean, you can say it is if you feel that way about him. I suppose I see the resemblance. I suppose I see it. I'm a fan of Bling Bling Boy. Johnny Test was always with him, and he did nothing wrong. Especially those sisters were so annoying. Bling Bling Boy was the GOAT. He must be left alone to his own devices to rule the world, unhindered by Mr. Johnny Test. Oh, did I do a line I didn't need to? No, I didn't yet. Okay, here we go. Is that not you? It is actually me. They're quitting Zins at 25. When I turn 23 in 2025, I will try. That's the goal. That is the plan. Yes, that is in August, so I still have 8 months or so to enjoy my nicotine before it's over for me. Do you think Leafy goons? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope he bought the Stop Gooning hat and has been repping it every day. That's my hope for everyone, frankly. All right, that's pretty good. Now we're going to go in and clean up this outside kind of portion. Nope, wrong layer. Make sure you're on the right layer, boys and girls, and make sure you're saving your progress in Photoshop, which I'm not doing right now. Leafy just uploaded about money again. Those were his best videos. The ones where he was talking about trading stocks and making money out of his old Minecraft server, the IRS story. The videos where he was just talking casually about life events that were interesting that we never got to hear about. I think we're way better than him, like, I don't know, bullying kids back in the day or shitting on Pokemon. I honestly think that one of his best videos was a video he told about some, like, he met on the internet when he was, like, a young kid. That was a funny video. The drugs videos, some of those were kind of funny. I assume some of those stories were fake, but those were kind of funny for sure. Here we go. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to add a layer, new layer. And now we're going to do the shading like we did in the last one. Once again, we're going to go to blending options, turn that down to, like, 23 on this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we're gonna decrease the hardness and increase the size. There we go. And now we got this. You're 22. Yeah, why is that? I talked about this all the time. Yes, I'm 22 years of age. Do you think I was 38 or 12? Which one? Which one were you expecting? How about his videos on stocks and econ that were all Pokemon videos? His videos, yeah, stocks and econ were good. Like I said, the videos about day trading, those were some of his best videos, in my opinion. I like them much more than the other stuff he was doing. Some shading to make his hair look like it's almost like yarn on top of his head is definitely going to help as well. So I guess while I am around here, I'm imagining the light kind of coming right at him. So it makes sense to have a shadow there, shadow here behind this piece of hair. Though, to be honest, my shading theory has never been that good. So it's hard for me to say what exactly is going on. Start of your art commentary community arc? Yeah, dude. This is the start. This is the beginning. You've all been waiting for eagerly. You all wanted it to happen, and here we are. Here we are. We don't need that on top. Okay. I also forgot to do his facial hair, but that's okay. We can catch up with that in a second. All right. Now we need a little bit of shadow under him for sure to show that he is in fact fat. And the shadow will go a long way in showing the fact that he has some depth. He went from having no chins to 3. W Riz. There we go. Hit a Chinese accent for the one time. Perhaps I will. Add more line art chins. I think you're probably right. I think you're actually quite right on that note, and I think I will. In due time, tell me animating yourself talking and randomly accusing people for drama. True. I used to animate, but it just takes too much time for me to do it now. When I was much younger, I used to do animation. It also wasn't very good, but even if your animation is bad, it still takes a long time to do. Kind of a pain in the ass. Once again, I think the nose shadow is not really doing it for me. All right, we're going to go back in with the line art now. We're going to start with... Let's see here. We're going to start with his chins. Getting this right is important. I think that's good. Looks kind of up. I feel like there should probably be no delineation between his neck and his chin, but we're going to have it there anyway. We're going to go back in with the shadow layer now. Add some shadow to that double chin. There we go. That's good. That looks right. Okay, now that we have that, we do have to go back in and do the facial hair with a smaller size brush. Yeah, there we go. Maybe even smaller. Maybe 3. All right, so in the original picture, where does he have facial hair? All right, typical patchy Asian guy facial hair makes sense. Kind of similar to mine, honestly. Not growing in the middle too much, is he? Add some grime between his teeth to solidify the dedication to the bulk. The problem with that, once again, is the finer details are not going to show up on a YouTube thumbnail, so the drawing generally has to be kept pretty simple. Definitely need some hair here on his chins. If he ever comes back and sees this, he might be mad. Hopefully not. We'll see. He's got definitely some on the bottom. Okay, kind of a neck beard type thing is what we need going on, I think. Generally is the way to go. Not too heavy. We got to keep it patchy down here. I see. Otherwise beautiful and accurate depiction. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, just some random hairs over here clicking around like crazy. It's just how it is, you know. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Let's see when we zoom out. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so look at both of them. Yeah, okay, this will be a good thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the layer down. The facial hair does make it. It changes the game quite a bit. Might even be good to add a little facial hair on the other one. I'm going to merge this down. Oh, yeah, sometimes the layer properties will copy in a way you don't want them to. Here we go. All right, merge that down. Now we're going to add a little bit of stubble here, I think, actually, looking back. Just on his chin, though, I think. Add a little bit here, even. But not much. I think that's good. I think that's good. All right. So we've got both of these here. We need to, first of all, add a stroke, which is going to make it pop against the background. It's a white outline. And then we're going to add a drop shadow. Now we need to clean this up a bit by getting rid of these little pieces here and there. Just make it look better. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we need to do the other one as well. Going to add a stroke. And then add a drop shadow as well. Turn up the intensity, turn down the size a little bit. There we go. We're gonna get these little pieces. I think that's pretty much it for that one. Okay, so now we've got both of them. We're gonna take him and put him here. He's horrified at himself. And this one's gonna go in the front because technically him in this form is more recognizable. So that's gonna be the way we do it. There we go. All right, so that's pretty good. I think that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, I think, for the drawings. So I'm going to reorient them just a little bit to make him be more over here. And this one, I'm going to increase the size of the face a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good. That's good. That's good. There we go. All right, now that we got that, we're going to need to add a background. Now, typically, because the drawings are white, you can add kind of a more colorful background to make things pop a little more. I think the way to do it in this case is going to be to add Leafy's classic vaporwave background. So if I look up Leafy vaporwave, actually got a pretty good picture right here. So I'm going to add a layer. All right, and drop this vaporwave picture in here. Let me fit this on the screen. All right, so we're going to increase the size of this thing so it fills up the whole frame. All right, that's good. Might even make it a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. Now that we've got that, I'm going to take that, go to image, adjustments, brightness and contrast, and increase the contrast all the way. I'm going to also go to image, adjustments, hue and saturation, and I'm going to with these things a little bit, see what we can get. So probably increase the saturation Change the hue a little bit maybe to make it pop the most. Yeah, I think that's probably good. And the lightness, I'm going to increase not much at all, actually. Wait, what the okay, I forgot to apply it or whatever. Okay, lightness, okay. There we go, that's a good color. Now, I'm going to go to filter, go to Gaussian blur to blur it out a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Now, adding a vignette in Photoshop, you can do it in the software, but I prefer to not do it in the software. So what I'm going to do is save this, open up Sony Vegas, which is the editing software that I use, and I'm going to open up this picture so I can with it a little bit. Okay, here we go. That's better. Okay, so now that we've got that, all right, so I'm gonna increase the contrast a little bit more. I'm gonna add a TV simulator effect. I'm just gonna add some scan lines, and I'm gonna add a vignette. Now the vignette is going to just make things a little darker on the edges, which is good. Now I'm also gonna add more of a blur, I think. Slightly more Gaussian blur to this one. All right, now that we've got that, I can save this picture. All right, now that we've got that saved, I can go to my downloads and grab the picture with the edits, add it in here. Okay, so that looks good. I like that, and it looks like right now because it's in the background, but once we add our leafies, that looks pretty good. Now I am going to increase the shadow a little bit on this one. So I'm going to increase the size, decrease the opacity a little bit so it's a little see-through. And I'm going to change the angle so it's a little more over there. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And I'm also going to increase the size of the stroke, I think. And also increase the size of the shadow again. These are things that I just like to tweak with here and there. Change the outcome a little bit. Now this one I'm also going to increase the size of the stroke a little bit. Also increase the size of the drop shadow. And decrease opacity a little bit. Okay. So that's pretty good, I would say. And that is a YouTube thumbnail that I'll use on the clip for the Finalizing the Leafy video. There you go, chat. There you go. That's how we do it. That's how we do it around here. That's how we get it done. I'll also do the corpse husband one, but after I piss. So I'll be back after I piss. Why do you zoom it out a bunch? That's the way to do it. What do you mean, why do I zoom it out a bunch? So I can see it here, because most people, when they see a YouTube thumbnail, it's on a really small screen. So I need to be able to zoom it out to see what it looks like, to see, like, would I be able to see this on mobile and recognize what I'm looking at? And in this case, I would. All right. So, because I'm a genius, while I was working on the Leafy thumbnail, in my few silent moments, I was also brainstorming how I was going to do the other thumbnail. Now, when we watched the Internet Anarchist video, a big theme of it was expectation versus reality, right? That was a big theme of that video. And so what I'm thinking is I'm going to play on that sort of meta of expectation versus reality. Now, I also mentioned that I look kind of like the leaked picture of Corpse Husband, which I think I do, honestly. So I think what would be good is if I kind of bait people in a way. Here's my idea. You gotta put this picture. All right, just saving the thumbnail. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Take the picture of Corpse. What if I put Corpse on one side and me on the other side, and it's expectation versus reality? That's my kind of thought process. So first we have to draw Corpse Husband. Now, once again, we're going to go to the layer, go to blending options. We're going to decrease the opacity of the layer, and we're just going to try to get the major ideas. And we will probably have to color this one because people know Corpse for his blue eye or whatever the f. So we're gonna have to actually draw his eye, I think, but that's okay. Nope. Layer, new layer. All right, so we're gonna do a larger brush size. I think 7 will be good because he's got a lot of big features we need to really capture. We're gonna mostly stick to the formula for this one. Innovative, oh my bad, sorry. There you go. So with the drawing of Corpse Husband, we're gonna mostly stick to the formula for this one, but we are gonna change some things for sure. Mostly little things, but I don't wanna caricaturize this too much because the idea is still going to be that it is Corpse Husband, right? That's still going to be the idea, and it's his design, and people are expecting him to look like a hot, sexy anime boy with some weird effed up mask, but in reality, he doesn't look like that. So we're gonna mostly stick to the formula, but we're gonna simplify things, obviously. And this thumbnail, I honestly don't have to draw necessarily, but I want to. So I'm going to. I'm gonna get the teeth right for sure. Tom's a tracer. True, I am. I am a tracer. I'm guilty as charged of that allegation. But I still think that the benefit to tracing is you still get the general idea while simplifying the design, which arguably makes it more easy to recognize for clickers who are gonna be clicking. But yes, I am a tracer. I'm the big tracer. My favorite thing to do. some may say. All right, now this design is kind of hard to trace because he's got so many weird lines and shading, and it's hard to figure out what's going on, but we're going to do our best here. Definitely need to get the shaggy anime boy hair. That's an important feature. Teaches you muscle memory. Tracing? How does it teach you muscle memory? So you can trace it again? Or draw it again? Is that what you mean? I don't totally know what you mean by that. He has these weird up horn things. I don't really know what that's about, but whatever, it is what it is. Thing is, I have no intention of ever drawing Corpse Husband ever again. The reason why I'm tracing is because it saves time, and I'm lazy. There we go. Perfect. This one we probably will have to color in. Like I said, just because it's a more recognizable drawing and the colors do pop very well. A lot of nice contrasting colors here, so we probably will have to actually color this one in, but that's okay. All right, it is what it is. And what a strange design this guy has for a mask thing. What a strange design. It's kind of cool. I do get it, but also still kind of cringe. We're gonna draw some of these lines, whatever this weird mouth design is. The mask. That's what the point of the mask is. All right, we're gonna have a line there. We'll have a line here. We're not going to get too caught up on all the details, though. And we're not going to draw his finger because that gets in the way. And I don't think the finger is necessary to get the design right, to be honest. To be completely honest with all of you. All right, so we got the mask. We need to finish drawing his... he only has one horn thing. Is there one horn? I think there is one horn. Yeah, there's like one horn thing. Okay. It might honestly not be worth drawing him at this point. It might be worth just... It might be better to just not... I'll decide in a second. I don't know. Maybe better just use the picture of him. It might be more recognizable than drawing. Yeah, I think honestly, it might be better to just use the picture of him. So hold on. Layer style blending options. Increase the opacity completely. We can just use the remove background feature, I think, to crop him out. Yeah, that's good. We'll go in and clean up the edges a little bit. Plus, I honestly don't want to spend too much time on this thumbnail. But we'll put him over here. I do like the lighting this guy used on his thumbnail. Definitely improve the drawing a little bit. We'll add to the mask a little more here. And we're going to have to add a drop shadow, but I'm guessing... Oh, it doesn't look that bad, actually. I thought there would be a bunch of... Oh, there are some. Yeah, there are some. We'll actually see it when we do the stroke meme. Stroking and shucking and jiving. Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought. So basically, because the AI meme is not perfect, there's all these weird little bits and matter that they miss. The finger's extremely crucial, Tom. You think so? It could be. It could be mad important. Just got to get rid of some of this crap that the AI didn't get. But getting it exact, making all the lines super nice is not that important. Okay, that's pretty good. I usually, honestly, would be a little more anal, but because it's 4:20 a.m., I kind of don't care. All right. Okay. How does this look? Fine? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So now I got to grab a picture of me. Now, the thing about me is for thumbnails, I have a saved folder of faces that I have made that are funny. So, well, actually, we can put him back on this side. And we're going to use a particularly emo-looking picture of me with the long hair. Got a good image here. And let me go to my... swag. We're going to drop this image here. All right, so that's a picture of me. So we're going to do the remove background feature on this one. Put a picture of you doing the Rizzler pose. Yeah, that's going to be good for this thumbnail. 1000%. I agree. I will do that, I think, actually. Thank you. So we're going to take this and put me here. We do need to clean up some of the edges on this guy because when we add this stroke, it's not going to look that good. So we do need to around here. Add e-girls are ruining his life. I don't think that would be that good. The thing is... You don't want to add too many ideas to a thumbnail. You want to keep it very simple. 2 or 3 concepts, usually as few as possible. Usually the best thumbnail is going to be 1 or 2 images with text. That's usually the way to do it. You don't want to get too complicated. The second you start making things complicated is the second that things start going wrong. Adding the text "E-Girls Ruining My Life" to a thumbnail might seem good because you're like, oh, wait, well, that's the title of a song, but it's really long. It's a long amount of text. You'd be better off putting a picture of him and then putting an e-girl if you're making a video about Corpse Husband to represent that. You want to distill it to the least amount of images to communicate the concept. Plus, just adding an e-girl, like people like hot girls, so that probably would get the video better views anyway. So that's the way you're going to want to do it. So that's pretty good. All right, so now we can add a stroke to me. The stroke is happening moment. And there's other random crap around we have to get rid of as well. The bob, yeah, dude. Ass Bob, that's what we call that. All right, I'm gonna add a drop shadow to this one, and yeah, okay. So I'm gonna zoom out more. So maybe we can make him a little smaller. Could put me back here a little bit, but you also want my face to be rather large because at this point, this channel I'm soy facing in every thumbnail. Maybe make me more upright. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have that, we need to be thinking about, first of all, I want to decrease the shadow size. And then I also want to add a background. So typically with a thumbnail like this, you want to have contrasting colors. If you look at the color wheel, it's very easy to tell what the contrasting colors are. But you want to have the thumbnail and the background look different so they pop, so it's good. So I'm also going to increase the brightness and contrast on my face here, just to make the darks pop a little more. And I could even increase it on him, I think, a little bit. Not too much, though. Okay, so I need a background that simultaneously... We're probably going to want something that contrasts from the dark colors, because there's a lot of dark colors in the foreground. And I have a drop shadow around both of us. So we're probably going to want a light color. So in a case like this, I might go for white, honestly. It might look okay. If not, I could always go for like a light version of a color, like light purple, light blue. I probably wouldn't go for red, though, because there's red in the foreground. So add a new layer, put it down here, and I'll probably add a white. We'll see how white looks. So in this case, white looks kind of crazy. So first of all, Corpse Husband's shadow is a little too strong. It doesn't need to be that big, because the idea behind the shadow is just making it contrast from the stuff around it. So I'll decrease that. What I'll probably do is, first of all, I'm going to make him bigger here, because you don't really need the side of his face to recognize it as Corpse Husband. I'll move myself so I'm a little bigger as well. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm basically going to make the background black. White versus black. I honestly don't think it's making that much of a difference whether it's white or black, but I'm going to go for like kind of a dark gray color. Just like almost black, but not quite. And now Corpse's shadow probably needs to be bigger, because I'm going to move myself here a little bit, because the hair is not an important aspect of me to recognize, and this is more my face. Yeah, because you can still tell that the hair is on the other side. Okay, so if I zoom this out, probably move myself more to the left a little bit. Could probably move Corpse more to the left a little bit as well. And I'm going to increase the brightness and contrast on my face even more. Yeah. So I'm going to f around with the colors on Corpse now, because they look slightly flat. So I'm going to go to hue and saturation, increase the saturation a little bit, maybe change the hue. More blue is actually good. Yeah. Green, no. Bluish, purplish would be good, I think. It's probably too different from how he normally is. That is good, though. That does pop quite a bit. So now I'm going to increase the contrast on him and the brightness a little bit. But I think that's pretty good. Yeah, because you can still tell it's Corpse Husband, but the colors are different, which is interesting. So I think this is how I would do it. That's how I'm going to do this thumbnail, and that'll probably be the thumbnail for the Corpse clip. Why do you use Vegas? I'm just used to it. I do kind of know how to use Premiere, but I just like it. I like the software. All right, and that's it. There we go. We did it. We made some thumbnails. Chat. We did it, dude. All right. With that being said, do you use Vegas for main channel videos? No, not usually. We use a lot of different software. I use Vegas sometimes when I'm editing, but usually the guys use DaVinci and Premiere Pro. With some like After Effects stuff, but yeah, it's usually the way we do it. Typically, DaVinci's where it's at. Yeah, DaVinci seems pretty good. I do kind of know how to use DaVinci, but not super well. I can do simple stuff, but I'd have to learn. I don't really like the node-based system thing. I don't really like that visually. I prefer the way that Vegas is with keyframing and everything, but it probably is a pretty good software from what I've seen. I do have people who use DaVinci that work for me, though. With that being said, chat, it's time to move on to our next piece of content for the day, now that we've done that.